Hello, hello. Welcome to Monday Rewind. It's me, Cider, and I'm here by myself today, Mr. John Delarose on the East Coast, the West Coast host, if you will. He's feeling a little under the weather, so it's me soloing today. And I wanted to walk you through what happened over the weekend. So here we are. Anyway, how did the weekend go for you? Mine started off a little weird, especially with this headline ringing around in my head. Marvel Comics retcons Nightcrawler's origin, reveals X-Men teleporter, Nightcrawler, as biological son of lesbian mutants Mystique and Destiny. All right, now that bothered me, right? That bothers you, doesn't it? Like for all this time, like I thought it was Azazel that was Nightcrawler's dad. I mean, that was, like, everywhere. And where did this demon tail come from? Mystique doesn't have a demon tail. Destiny, I don't think, has a demon tail, right? I mean, in the weird three-fingery thing that he has there and the three-toesy thing, that nope, Destiny and Mystique don't, like, lend themselves to that biology, so just don't know. Exactly, it's cringe. It's straight up cringe. For me, I just don't understand why they had to go and do this. We covered it on a BIC video last week here, but it rang with me over the weekend. Like, why? What? I realized that this was something that Claremont wanted to do. Spencer put that in the article. That Claremont tried to do this way back when this was originally floated. I guess when Nightcrawler originally showed up or something. And so the gimmick he was going for is he wanted to pull Nightmare into this, to being Nightcrawler's father. And I agree that's a little dumb. I mean, oh yeah, I'm the night guy because my dad's the night guy as well. Ha ha. It's a little much. I get it. And but this is a little bit like way over the top again, isn't it? At least in my opinion. This seems like hell and gone from anything reasonable. You've got you have to, like, you're now, like, party to their delusion, okay? You're now party to this idea that, like, Mystique's eggs transform into sperm when she turns into a man. So, like, every facet of her is transmorphable. Now, we understood that, right? We understood that. We understood that she could even change her larynx to alter her voice without changing her body. You know, she could change any part of her body right down to the tiniest part. You know, we've seen her change her retina in order to go through the retinal scans that the X Mansion had. We've seen all these sort of things come to pass, but we just didn't need the visual put in our head. You know what I mean? There's just some things you don't think about, and you don't need a professional writing a story to put that idea into your head. I mean, that's just me. You know, call me crazy. I don't go nuts for these stories where they're like, "Is a blue penis involved?" Yeah. Yeah, I said that out loud, but they implied it. Marvel implied it out loud, okay? These guys right here, they implied it out loud, all right? That's what happened here. So, yeah, just like JEC says, it's, that was how Claremont rolled. Yeah, he just invented stuff all the time, I guess. The editorial, guys go on about this in the article itself. They talk about, the goof ups here. Check my hand. Go further down here. Okay. Unfortunately for Claremont, thanks to Stern's editorial oversight, this is Roger Stern, I believe. And again, speaking with Callahan, Stern noted that no plan ever existed to reveal Nightcrawler's parentage, as it simply wasn't that important to us then. And in reality, do you really need to know where Nightcrawler comes from? Nightroller would be a good funny name. Yeah, Nightroller. All right. Do you really need to know where Nightcrawler's dad comes from? I mean, I like it being Azazel because it just explains the demon, like, physical stuff, you know, pointy demon tail and whatnot. But I I just have a really hard time with this whole Destiny thing. I mean, I get it, they're supposed to be together. That doesn't bother me that they're paired up. I mean, X-Men's had this going since day one. You know, it's not a big problem there. I just didn't need that visual put in my head, Marvel Comics. I didn't need that. And the editors, way back in the day, they didn't think so either. So I don't know. God bless them, I guess, further into the future than Claremont did. But it's absolutely um, insane. Speaking of insane, we have self-described gay Tupac, Juicy Smollett, loses his hate crime hoax conviction appeal. He faces a possible return to prison. That's right. That's the fellow who put the drying clothesline, the clothesline that you hang up and you put your underwear and t-shirts and stuff on. Put that around his neck and had two of his trainers, I guess, tell him this is MAGA country or something. It's such an obscure story to have happen. He feigned being assaulted by Donald Trump supporters, and it fell apart very quickly because anybody who was even a witness, the security camera footage, everything was very off. So we'll go down and check this out, though. Oh, it's a truth. Before we get on to that, truth says Claremont only came up with the idea because he got mad. His idea got denied. So he came up with an idea out of spite. It wouldn't surprise me. He doesn't exactly seem like the kind of forward thinking guy. There's a lot of knee jerk reaction with Claremont. A whole lot of knee jerk reaction. But we have Jesse Smollett's story over here that I keep getting derailed from. So in adding yet another loss to his ever-growing rap sheet, former Empire star Jesse Smollett is facing a possible return to prison after an Illinois court rejected his attempt to appeal the disorderly conduct conviction he received as a result of his now infamous "This is MAGA country" hoax. So calm down. If you need a safe space, just let us know. Bounding will be more than happy to provide you with a safe space. Just maybe we ought to keep like a safe space like clip going here. Just kind of bring things back down a little bit in case we say things that might upset the safe space of tears out there. So just know that this MAGA was quoted. This was a quoted MAGA. So just if you're shaking in fear right now, if you're literally shaking in fear right now, I apologize. I didn't give you a warning. I didn't give you a MAGA warning. In December of 2021, a jury of Smollett's peers found the actor, who's once described himself as the gay Tupac. Wasn't Tupac gay? Anyway, for surviving the now debunked racial assault, guilty of 5 felony counts of disorderly conduct for his lying to police in service of perpetrating the aforementioned hoax. As such, the actor received a jail sentence of 150 days, a subsequent probation of 30 days, and a $25,000 fine. And in order to repay the city of Chicago a total of $120,000 for the money they spent investigating his crappy fan fiction. Mhm. Yeah, David Glenn says he is a victim, all right. A victim of his own narcissism. That's right. It's this old saying, you give them enough rope to hang themselves, right? How much you want to bet Jesse? He might have known him. They were the same state, those Chicago boys, they run pretty tight. I shouldn't have said it like that. Dang it, JEC. You dang it, I'm blaming you for that. I'm gonna get fired to keep up like this. Jeez. However, after turning himself over to police custody in March 2022, Smollett's legal team informed the court that they would be formally seeking to appeal their client's conviction on the primary ground that, in their opinions, their client had been tried twice for the same crime. His case had previously been dismissed for being brought back to trial by a special prosecutor. Sorry, I forgot I was muted. In light of this announcement, Smollett asked that he be set free while the appeals process takes its course, as a request to which the Illinois First District appellate, 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 appellate court immediately agreed. Yeah, they just let him go. They're like, yeah, sure, no problem, man. You screwed around, made a whole bunch of people look bad, caused a lot of racial tension. Yeah, just go home, man. Go home, take like a jacuzzi bath, feel better. Poor guy. Unfortunately for Smollett, when his appeal finally received a decision on December 1st, 2023, it was not one that went in his favor, as therein, Illinois' first district court Justice Navarro. Isn't that like a city from The Mandalorian? Navarro? Man, I hate reality sometimes. Anyway, Justice Navarro upheld the former celebrity's initial convictions. According to Justice Navarro, though the state originally declined to prosecute Smollett, their decision in no way precluded them from re-prosecuting him. Apparently, that's how it works. Given the absence of of a non-prosecution agreement with the Cook County State Attorney's Office, re-prosecuting Smollett was not fundamentally unfair, ruled the court. Because the charges against Smollett were formally abandoned before jeopardy had been attached, in the first criminal proceeding, that is, the subsequent prosecution did not violate his rights against double jeopardy. So I guess because they threw out the case before they could just, like, I guess, set it up, maybe? I don't know. The court did not determine that to be an actual swing at bat, apparently. So that's how they got him. They decided, no, you don't get off easy, and you are going to jail. So have fun. And I don't know. I think that's one of those ride off into the sunset kind of things. Like, man, it makes you feel good when you find out some loser just got ejected out of his fantasy world, right? Is Navarro the new HBO fantasy series? I don't know. I don't know what Justice Navarro has going on. Apparently, he's important. People know him or her. David Glenn says, if I had only recorded a video recognizing and denouncing my privilege, Juicy wouldn't have felt the need to do this. Sorry, folks, it's my fault. Yeah, it's really, really, it's not okay to be white apparently because these guys will just make up crimes. Incredible. It's incredible to live in a world where this is actually a story to begin with, right? Where this is actual news, and it is. It is. Because this is someone who made national news faking a hate crime. Racial tensions went through the roof over this. A presidential candidate had assassination attempts enacted on him. If you remember, this happened before that Bernie Sanders supporter tried to attack Trump. This has been this has been nutty, a whole nutty situation, and you can blame Jesse Smollett for a great deal of the racial tension going on. This whole fake thing, right? It makes it as far as the second headline, maybe. But a lot of the time, the people who initially got mad about this don't listen to the rest of the story. They heard that his guy got MAGA countryed out in the middle of the street, and that's it. That was the end of the story for them. They never heard that he was lying about it. Happens all the time. JEC says double jeopardy is only a thing when you've had a trial with a proper ruling. That's true. So if they threw it out, then this is like 8 months before the summer of love. Yeah, exactly. Like again, like he again, like this incident contributed to the messes that we had, the racial tensions that flew through the roof, all because this guy wanted attention because he was going to get fired off of this show. It's amazing what celebrities are allowed to get away with. I will never understand why we allow celebrities to behave the way that they do, and we don't hold them to a higher standard. Like, you remember Alec Baldwin just shooting somebody? Apparently, he's been let off of those charges, or at least one of them anyway. Like, can you imagine anybody else getting let off charges of shooting people? Gosh, it's amazing. Speaking of getting shot, Barbie star America Ferrera says the last 20 years have seen no improvement for Latinos in Hollywood. They are anomalies. These moments where Latinos get to shine. Like, I don't know, man. Like, what are we supposed to do? Sorry, I didn't mean to cough in your ear. The when it comes to this, like, I don't know. We've had plenty of Latina Americans, like Latinx, I guess, if you people prefer, Latino, Hispanic, south of the border Americans. I'm not sure what you'd want to call them. But there are plenty of them in and out of movies. We just had a whole movie that was just basically wall to wall Hispanic, Latin American, well, Latin USA American references. It was Blue Beetle. I mean, George Lopez was in it, but it acted an awful lot like him and that fluffy guy, the other fat Hispanic comedian there. They wrote it together. It feels directly born out of what you'd expect a Hispanic geared family superhero comedy movie would give you. And it got great ratings with the Latino community. The Geek Getaway guy, Tony, he's got glowing reviews about it because he's like, they eat tacos just like me, and representation or whatever. But I don't see where America Ferrera is correct in this, and that we have like this lid on where Hispanic actors, Latinx actors, Latino, whatever you want to call them, actors are sort of capped off. I don't see that at all. You got Pedro Pascal, who's like everywhere now. I don't think he's an anomaly. Well, he's hideous, but I don't think he's an anomaly in the sense that they picked one Hispanic guy they were going to deal with, and that was it. I just think he probably has a really cheap, hourly rate. What do you think, though? Do you think she's right? Truth says, I'm not white, just very, 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 very light trans Latin megamorpher. Wow. A megamorpher here. Wow. Is that like your pronouns? Mega morpher? Is that mega morpher? Is that the pronouns? I don't know. It's a new world, right? But yeah, so she goes on in this and she explains in the article here. There, here we go. Says, while I enjoy an incredible career full of opportunity that I have fought hard for and worked hard for, I know that the vast reality for Latinos in this country is that it is as difficult today as it was 16 years ago or even 22 years ago when I started, says America Ferrera on the subject of Latinos finding work in Hollywood. Now, again, I don't agree with this. I really don't. I just honestly think that what you're dealing with in Hollywood are people that want to put people in a certain peg and a certain round hole. That's it. They're not interested in doing anything other than typecasting people. So if you are a Hispanic American, they don't want you doing anything other than that. I assure you, if they keep Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards is going to have a Hispanic backstory. He will not have a, I don't know, Irish guy backstory, wherever he came from. Swedish, German? I don't know where Richards comes from. England? Anyway, they're not he's not going to have that background that he did in the original series. He will have one that is tailor-made for the Latino community because that's who he is. That's what they ended up doing with Fan Four Stick. Is they ended up trying by making Johnny Black, they had to make Dr. Storm, who's apparently their dad. He was doing this now, apparently, a black guy who adopted a white girl. And that's fine. That happens in the world all the time. But that was just such a bend over backwards to accomplish this race change. And it's not necessary. But America Ferrera's case, I really don't think that that's her problem, that it's hard for Latinos to get into Hollywood. I think what it's hard for Latinos to do is get out of Latino roles, to get out of roles that have been made for, as our lovely First Lady describes them, Jill Biden describes them, breakfast tacos, being typecasted as a breakfast taco, as Joe Biden calls them. So I think that's really the truth of it, but that's just me, you know. JEC says, "Bro, that actress is a light six, and she's complaining that she doesn't get more roles. Puta, look in a mirror." Yeah, well, you know, I like the hoop earrings, but like again, I can get into this Barbie thing and how like that was a completely unnecessary character. But that again, like they really overplayed her being Hispanic. Like her husband is learning Spanish in order to communicate to her or some South American language. And so like again, like what do you want, America Ferrera? Do you want to act in Hollywood or do you want to be pandered to as a Hispanic woman, as a Latina? Which do you want? You can't have both because if you have pandering, that means that you are only going to get positions in Hollywood, jobs that involve pandering to the racial demographic that you are. If you just want to work in Hollywood, say so. When you start painting it by race, you give in to what these guys are talking about. They're like, oh, we need to make more Hispanic geared content. We need to make more Latino friendly content. And then they go and spew out all this stuff that nobody wants because it's made by a group of white people who get all of their information about the world from Twitter and Instagram. That's No, I'm just gonna tell you. That's how it works. We saw the She-Hulk writers' room, not in the show, the real one. That is, it's just a bunch of white people sitting around trying to figure out problems that they can then solve and feel good about themselves. And that's what America Ferrera is really complaining about here, in my opinion. Anyway. Hey, it's me and HD says so true. They'll tie it into the culture exactly, and that's what it is. It's silly. It really is. It's ridiculous. I have a guess. I have to guess that like the reason why there's so many like Navarro is there and not like some other wonky Star Wars name, right? Like Navarro is a place that you could like run across in like New Mexico or Arizona, right? Someplace, some border town, like there's Navarro, New Mexico, and it's a border town and it's real rough there. And it's like that's what they did with the Mandalorian when they cast Pedro. They're like, well, we got to give him a Hispanic centric background. Let's make him a bandito. And they did. They even gave him the damn gun belt. The only thing he didn't have was a bag of Doritos with him. Remember the Dorito bandito way back in the day? Yeah. That's what they did to Pedro. They were just like, well, the Mandalorian's got to have like a gunfighter background now because he's his Hispanic guy. And that's all we know about them is they did gunfighting at one point and Aztecs. That's it. And that's what the deal is. You want to complain about your roles, America Ferrera. That's what you're dealing with. You're dealing with people who look at you and say you only fit into one role. That's where the hardship is. That's what the uphill battle is. And you've allowed that, America Ferrera. You've allowed that. David Glenn says America Ferrera needs to start her own production company and quit relying on the man. Well, I mean, that's what happened to what's his face there? Nolan, right? Christopher Nolan. He came up with that company that he does with his wife, right? And they just put out that Oppenheimer movie, and I think it's on Blu-ray now. Might even be on streaming. I'm not sure. But he wanted to make physical media a priority, just so you know. So you will get a DVD of that guaranteed. Shifter says she looks like she would make a good villain. I see how you spelled that. Yeah, maybe it's a good scowler. If you wanted to do, I don't even know, um, like a lady Mandarin. She'd be fun as a lady Mandarin, right? I could see her as a lady Mandarin. I think that would be fun, right? You put America Ferrera in as a lady Mandarin, and she's like possessed by the original Mandarin, the ghost of the original Mandarin, and stuff like that. That'd be really neat, right? You don't have to make it weird, like he's all like, "Oh, I have boobies now." You don't have to do that. You just that would be funny, but no, you don't have to do that. You just make her like turbo evil, and she goes around in that really neat big collar, I'm a bad guy suit. Be neat. And then, like, you can even have, like, "You wouldn't punch a woman" jokes, right? It'd be great. It'd be great. You could get away with anything then. Well, then you could punch a woman, just like they did in One Piece. David Glenn says, "She's about to hit 40. This sounds like, look at me, I used to be young and cute." They do that around that time, don't they? When they go over that backside of the hill, man, that the whole attention, thing goes right through the roof. Yeah, press tour. Yeah, how about that? Yeah. Hey, it's me and HD says, yes, Nolan speaks highly of physical media. Well, hey, we just found out. Let me see if I can dig it up here. Let's see. Yep, there it is. How do I? Okay, see if I can get this open. Found out from PlayStation recently that, okay, maybe not. Um, what the fruit? Okay, if I can open it now. Hold on, folks. This is technical difficulties. Still learning how to use new StreamYard features, so bear with me. So here we are. My bad. So here it is from PlayStation. It says, "Dear PlayStation customer, as of December 31st, that's coming right up in 2023. That's this year, coming right up. Due to our content licensing arrangements, that you remember this, they called you crazy. They called you crazy that the streaming services were going to take your money and then leave you hanging when their licensing agreements run out. You remember that? They called you crazy. They said that was never going to happen. Due to our content licensing agreements with content providers, you will no longer be able to watch any of your previously purchased Discovery content. And the content that content will be removed from your video library, meaning you bought it. You rented stuff, you bought stuff, you made digital purchases. Part of the reason why you may have purchased this video streaming service um, through PlayStation may have been to get a hold of the Discovery content. Well, now that's gone and they've got your money. You'll notice here, so you click here for a full list of affected titles that will no longer be supported. I don't care enough because it's a screenshot, I don't know, whatever. But it says, "We sincerely thank you for your continued support. Thank you, PlayStation Store." Now, I just want to direct your attention all the way down to the bottom of this screenshot, and it says, "Play has no limits." Well, apparently it does, and those limits are called licensing. It's amazing, right? It's absolutely amazing. And Hey, it's HD, he says, and at the best time too, just look at the whole PlayStation debacle. Yep, again, like, just right here, you know? And this is again, like, here we are. You're gonna end up, like, if you don't already, consider becoming a pirate, and then burning that on the frisbees that you can put in computers, okay? Computer frisbees. Listen to what I'm telling you. Become a pirate and put moving pictures on computer frisbees. Become a pirate and put moving pictures on a computer frisbee. Especially if you like it. JEC says they edited the N word out of the French Connection. Completely ruins the movie. Okay, have some very specific tastes there, I see. I didn't expect that last part. Hey, it's me in HD. He says, always read the fine print, always read the fine print. Remember the lady that filed the lawsuit a few years back. No, I don't remember that lady. You bring her up? You know who she is? If you just say so, maybe I can Google it. Hey, it's me in HD says, you will own nothing and you will be happy. Yeah, you'll live in the pods, you'll eat the bugs, it'll be great. 15-minute cities of death. Awesome. Truth says, this reminds me of an old episode from Doctor Who. Yeah, well, what do you know? Sci-fi becoming life. Wasn't weird enough when we started having like military movies coming to life. You know those old America porn, Rambo, Schwarzenegger kind of things. Those things becoming real life. No, 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 no. Now we've got to have the weird sci-fi stuff come to life. It's great. It's great. Hey, it's me in HD says, I've always liked streaming movies, but as a bonus to my physical media purchases. Well, sure, it's an ease of convenience thing, right? Like, who doesn't want to have like access to their DVD, their movie that they have in their closet just on demand? You know, you're in your bed, you're in your underwear. Nobody wants to go back downstairs and go through that big old filing cabinet full of those things. Nobody wants to do that. And then you gotta remember which binder you put it in, or which, like, filing cabinet they're in, or which, 7-foot stack of DVD cases they're in. Whereas the streaming device is just there to say, "Oh, hey, if you scroll enough, you'll find something you like," you know? It's a convenience thing, but in reality, you should always remember to have physical media, especially of the things that you love. I'm not one of these guys that tells people to go out and, like, save everything. I mean, I that's not possible. But if everybody saves everything that they love, right, we'll have quite a bit to go through when the corporations take it all away, you know? We'll have quite a bit to go through. JEC says computers don't have Frisbee drives anymore. That's true. That's true. So make sure that you get an external Frisbee drive that's capable of burning computer Frisbees with moving pictures that you found while being a pirate. That's right. You can get your costume at iParty right now. It's on sale. Halloween's over with. They got nowhere to go. Mike Joseph says this has class action lawsuit written all over it. Their terms of service can say whatever. Sony, Amazon, Apple, et cetera, advertise these as purchases, not as indefinite rentals. That's true. They do say buy, and they do give you the option to rent. So they should probably just take the buy part off, right? Just take the buy part out. That's that's really what they need to do. But again, like, they don't care. That's not interesting to them. And that just really shows you, right? The kind of like backroom tennis these guys are playing with this stuff, right? That they just do this. They know that they have millions, maybe billions, tied up in purchases on this content that they're just willy-nilly racketing back and forth, tennis racketing back and forth to each other. That that is the most infuriating part about this, honestly, is that they know that they have this money and that they're taking away what they advertise to give you for that money. They know what they're doing. It's crazy. Hey, it's me and HD says it was a Fairfield woman that tried to sue Amazon over what she saw as leasing digital movies rather than purchasing. Oh, okay. Amanda Claudel. Okay. Well, we'll have to look into her someday. Find out what's going on with her. Do a special on Amanda Claudel. JEC says you want to get an external frisbee drive rewinder too. Just if you get an extra, yeah, sure, right. The rewinder's important. The frisbee rewinder's important. You bet. But yeah, so PlayStation is just reminding us all why we should hate, you know, corporations, and why they suck, always and forever. Speaking of corporations that suck, we all need to take a minute and remember how lucky we were that Paramount kept this evil thing hidden from us for as long as they did. But now it's out in the wild. It's free to watch to those poor, helpless souls. Paramount makes the terrible live action Halo series free to watch on YouTube and appears to release a season 2 release date. I have no idea who is watching this. Everybody I know that tuned in for the first 5 episodes left as soon as Chief took his helmet off. They were gone as soon as Chief took his helmet off. Then he goes on and has like an affair with the doctor that made him, and it's really like, can we get back to killing aliens, dude? Cortana isn't even pretty. It is really a rough sell. And now it's been like released upon innocent souls across the earth by being made free on YouTube. That's right. That's right. Oh, hey, wait. Pablo Schreiber. I mean, that's kind of a strange name, but Pablo. Maybe America Ferrera was wrong. Doesn't seem that Pablo's having any trouble getting work. He's in a incredibly awful Halo adaptation, and he appears to be going on to a second season. Right? Isn't that great? Says, yeah, I saw the promo poster and I laughed so hard. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Mike Joseph says terrible would be an improvement. That's true. That's true. This is a gosh awful production. I watched the first 5 episodes, okay? I made it through the first 5. And I for the life like Dr. Halsey is disturbingly over sexualized in this. Like I'm not like talking like her boobs are hanging out or her butt's hanging out or anything, but this lady is way too horny to be somebody that kidnapped children and forced them to go through like genetic and mechanical augmentation to turn them into super soldiers, okay? That and psychological augmentation. That she's way too horny on Maine to be like that character, right? I remember Halsey being like really, I think it's Halsey, being really stiff and robotic and like distant, a little bit like Ultron. Without the like the maniacal destroy humanity thing. She was just like so full of herself for having accidentally saved Earth, because originally the Spartans were made to deal with the human rebellion that was happening on the colony worlds. And then the Covenant showed up, and Halsey was like, oh, we could use this. We could use these guys. They can fight these guys. I'm not a crazy criminal after all. And that was how that went. But this show was like, no, right out of the gate, Chief's taking his helmet off. So now you know. Now you know that Chief is just a dude in there. He's just a dude. He's not an unstoppable force of space nature. He's just a dude. He's not the unstoppable force of human willpower. He's not human ingenuity. He's not anything you would recognize as an aspirational figure. He's a angry, emotional, and quick to react jackass. That's what he is in the show. He really is. It's just it's so. Let me put it to you like this. Do you remember when Warner Brothers made like the Animaniacs or the tune whatever they did with not the Animaniacs, the Tuna Main whatever that one with Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck where they were all like badass superheroes. You remember that? Remember that? That's what this is. It's just trying way too hard to make Chief edgy. And he's already pretty edgy. I mean, he goes around killing Xenos and he just gives zero Fs about it, 0 Fs. I just for some reason they were like, no, he needs to cry more and he needs to throw his helmet on the ground and he needs to be frustrated with his fellow soldiers, even though we just usually saw Chief speaking in a low tone, like, I'll take care of it myself. And that was that. Like the angriest he got was I'll take care of it myself. And I don't if you can't tell the story, don't tell the story, right? It makes sense to me, it makes sense to you, but in Hollywood, they need like 2 or $300 million to learn that lesson periodically. Not even once. It's like over and over again they have to keep learning it. JEC says, I forgot the Halo series was even a thing. Imagine how bad it's got to be to get released for free to watch. Like, yeah, exactly. Like Paramount, like I don't think Paramount Plus is like a massive winning platform, much like the other streaming services. Netflix seems to be the only one that's mastered it, and even then, that's sketchy. But yeah, like that's really telling that this Halo series suddenly gets tossed up onto YouTube for free. I mean, Danger 5 is on there for free. I highly recommend that you go watch Danger 5 instead of this crap. Maybe they'll give him a season 3. Those guys deserve every opportunity. Get them to Hollywood. Get the Danger 5 guys, send them to Hollywood to fix everything. Give them guns to clear their way, right? Give them like a police escort. It'll get rough quick. Truth says he was in American Gods as the leprechaun. Oh, of course. One green suit for another. Truth says someone tried to ruin their helmet by having him sign it. Yeah, that's true. Mike Joseph says I dipped after 3. Insultingly bad. Doesn't even begin to cover it. Yeah, it's like it feels like. Do you remember when like I don't know if you read fan fiction, but it was like a big part of my life when I was a teenager and a young guy. So like when I was reading it, like you'd read like these really cool stories about like Optimus Prime and like the Power Rangers teaming up and having this cool adventure and like pow pow zap 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 zap. Everybody wins, go home, get some cake, whatever. But every now and then you'd run across these stories that were like clearly a teenage girl who had a crush on a boy, and she wrote this story about his favorite thing to try and insert herself and him into his fantasy to like join him in like the energy of his interests, but warp it to her perception of him. So like you occasionally you'd run across like Digimon fanfic that were just like straight up Myotismon raping people. You just, you'd run into like the Transformers fanfics where like Starscream and RC ended up getting married, and it was some horribly crazy affair that happened with Optimus getting into the middle of it because he couldn't stand the star-crossed lovers thing. And it's like, what? That's what this is. This right here feels like some teenage girl saw her crush liking Halo, playing Halo a lot, then decided to try and insert herself into it. And she's like, oh, well, Halsey's a power character. I guess I'll make myself Halsey because she does a lot of talking, completely unaware of that character's role, and has decided to make them like a couple in this setting. And like, hi, I'm the mom that tortured you and put a whole bunch of horrible stuff in your body and turned you into an emotionless killing machine that I thrust out into space for fun. Are you DTF? And he's like, yeah, I am. Just let me throw my helmet off and do some parkour. That was the other thing. They made him do parkour. That was really weird. Like I get that Chiefs like space guys, super marine, whatever. Parkour was the strangest thing in a Spartan armor. Like I just that's where the suspension of disbelief kind of leaves me. Parkouring Spartans. I just can't do it. JEC is Halo is literally the story about a faceless killing machine shooting aliens. It's a perfect plot for a video game, not as a 6-hour TV show. Yeah, well, again, I mean, you could hardcore Henry prove that you can have a great story of a guy who's not that communicative going through an environment where like scenes and stuff like that are sort of self-explanatory. You could do that. You didn't need to go like hardcore Henry with Halo, but you could get like bit of that going on. Like they tried that in this. They had a bit of that going on in the first couple of episodes where you were seeing everything through Chief's POV, but it was all like really like LARPy, you know? Like, hi, we're doing Halo this weekend. Do you have a costume? Do you want to join us? We're doing a Halo reenactment this weekend. That's it really looked like a Halo LARP than a like I don't even think the grass was like long. They like freshly trimmed the grass before they shot this. It was so stiff and weird. Like, I don't know, like they were doing like maybe they were doing the choreography for all the fights. So they had all the guys out practicing and they were like, oh no, this is good. So they fired up the camera. I don't know. David Glenn says 50 Shades started out as a Twilight fanfic. Yeah, that's the terrifying part, right? That told every creepy fanfic writer you have a chance at making a bajillion dollars and influencing cinema for years to come. That is a chilling thing to just have fly out into society, right? I've read some crazy shit. All right. Fanfiction.net, archive of our own. That's no man's land these days. Don't go there. I deleted all my stuff when I joined Comics Gate because I was smart. You know, no way you're gonna go find out what I was thinking when I was 14 years old. But these some of these man, like these kids need like help, like real deal. Give them a hug, help, man. Like holy crap. Truth says, I used to make Lego fanfics. Yeah, everybody had their own little story adventure thing going on. Apparently, the Paramount producers have theirs. It's just to the tune of $100 or so million a season. But JEC says, I should send you my French Connection fanfic where Detective Popeye only says, yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not. I'm not exactly I'm not an N-word connoisseur, if you will. I'm not an N-word connoisseur. But we do have some good news, though. Director Adam Wingard breaks down what to expect now that the first trailer for Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire is here. We get pink Godzilla. Do you remember this? This is from Godzilla 2000, way back in 2000, the Millennium. Godzilla in this particular one ended up having like a pink tipped um, spikes. His spikes, instead of turning blue, were initially lighting up pink, and I believe this was post meltdown. So this was like a Godzilla had evolved, I guess, in this setting. And so what happened with him was that instead of shooting a blue beam, it would start out as like purple in his throat. That was like the lens flare effect that you saw in like Ghostbusters, and then it would come out blue. And of course, this one had like the really flippity neck one that would make it go everywhere. So apparently that's back though. That's back. The first trailer for Kong X Godzilla: The New Empire premiered at Comic-Con Experience, CCXP. Wow, that's I don't know if I like that. That's a little too close to CCP for me. But anyway, over the weekend and beyond exciting everyone anticipating the new MonsterVerse film, it reveals quite a bit about the plot. But don't take our word for it. See it for yourself as you read on. The trailer confirms speculation that Godzilla X Kong has Son of Kong and has the Son of Kong angle at the heart of Kong's arc. That there is an undisclosed tribe of Kong species, and that there would be power-ups for the two titular titans. Godzilla is energized with a red glow, it's pink, and Kong sports some sort of bionic fist as they run into battle. You guys want to watch the trailer? Yeah, let's just watch the trailer. Whatever. I'm gonna pause it a lot. I'm not like Mr. Trent. I like to talk over things, so I'm sorry. You can watch it yourself all together. I'm gonna talk over it. Oh, hey, it's the Space Odyssey 2001 noise again. You remember that from the 2014 movie? We're bringing it back again, apparently, because that's the only spooky thing we can associate with giant lizards. Oh, it's a seismograph.
For most
Spooky.
of human civilization, we believed that life could only exist.
Why is it always in the pyramids? Is that like the only place that bad stuff can happen? Like even Michael Bay did this. Like everybody and their brother picks on the pyramids. Like, why can't something happen? Well, I don't know. Power Rangers did it in Krispy Kreme. I guess I'll leave it alone. All right. The pyramids are better than Krispy Kreme being the center of trouble in the universe.
On the surface of our planet, what else were we wrong about?
You know, probably eggs being healthy for you or not healthy. We still haven't figured that out yet.
Welcome to my world.
Why do they do that? We don't need like some like sorrowful song about it. We really need to just have like the Congo drums, like kind of like this big build up thing, and you got those guys from the Godzilla King of the Monsters one where he was rising out of the ocean, where they're going ha ha, that kind of thing. That'd be neat. No, we got some weird ass fucking cover of an Elvis song, maybe somebody from the 70s.
Won't you come on in?
This world has more secrets than we could.
Okay, wait, hold on.
This world.
They have like spaceships now? What? But how long of a time skip has this been since King of the Monsters? Like, why do they have what happened in Godzilla versus Kong or whatever? I don't know. Like they have spaceships now where they can just fly around on the interior of the earth like that? Did this happen in another movie? I'm legitimately mad about this. Like in King of the Monsters, they just recently discovered how to like bring a portable sonar uh projector, you know? They were using nuclear submarines. They actually walked a warhead up to Godzilla's face and set it off at his face. They have spaceships now? They have spaceships now? There's like a Hollow Earth in the last Kong. Yeah. The Kong versus Godzilla or Kong VG or something, whatever it was, GVK. I don't know. Anyway, um, yeah, like that had some of the Hollow Earth, like, in the last scenes of it when they were, like, dropping into it, I guess, or something. I don't know, but I didn't realize they had spaceships. That is really annoying. I don't like that at all.
World has more secrets than we could possibly imagine.
Miracles I get. Still remember now and then.
What is that?
That would be a giant monkey handprint. See that? That's a giant monkey handprint.
That's not Kong. What could have done this?
Okay, so they're introducing another threat, by the way. It's King Scar or Scar King or something like that. I get that this probably happened in the comics or whatever, but I mean, like, adding to the list of creatures that Godzilla and Kong have to fight together, like they're Vegeta and Goku fighting like the latest bad guy of the week. It's a little annoying. I mean, I know they want to make all these Godzilla movies and they think they got this plan, but I mean, just I can't really care about a bigger monkey. That's really all Scar King is he's just a bigger monkey. Oh no, he's bigger. That's it. That's all Mecha Godzilla was in the last one, is that he's just bigger. So he's just, oh no. Okay. What, are there like people living in this place now? Apparently. Can't imagine those are all soldiers. Nobody has a helmet on.
Kong can't stop this on his own.
He won't be alone.
Okay. He won't be alone. What are you doing with it? This feels why do I feel like I've seen this already? Do you feel like you've seen this already? It feels like you've seen it. I've seen it already. Yeah, well, I hate that. I hate that a lot. That's goofy as shit. Watch that. Watch that. It's so darn dumb. Oh, I fell over. I gotta get back on my feet again because we're gonna go beat up the bad guy now. And they gave Kong the Infinity Gauntlet. I could stop it. Just you see that? You see that over there? That thing? Let me see if I can move it ahead a little more and you can see the gauntlet a little clearer. Yeah, see it? He's got like the Infinity Gauntlet on. You see the stones are really tiny, so you can't see them from here. This is so dumb. Look, what are those kryptonite spires coming up? Come on, guys.
Welcome to my world.
Thanks, Elvis. That was great. Good job. Really appreciate your help with the Kong trailer. But yeah, bong. Yep. Mecha Streisand. Yeah, well, you know. JEC says there are a million Godzilla monsters that they could have done, but they had to do just a bigger version of King Kong. Yeah. And he's apparently got a gun belt on him for no apparent reason that has stuff in it, which is probably ridiculous on its own. But why would a giant monkey do that? Yeah. So that's what that is. It's a giant monkey story. I'm so yeah, she's got help. Yeah. Yeah, right. Apparently Godzilla's a lady. I didn't know this, but Truth says if they wanted to do a bigger monkey, they could do a Mecha King Kong. Yeah, I guess, but I mean, like, they're just more again, like they're just more interested in doing this Dragon Ball Z power escalation thing. This is Goku just going Super Saiyan Rose, I guess is maybe the term. Remember that time that Goku Black got pink hair? Yeah, it's like that. I just don't understand what the point of it is. See, you can have adventures of them interacting with stuff down there, but you don't need to do a giant monkey. That's very silly. Like again, you have Godzilla go down there, and then you have the people that live there try to take him, try to like either kill him or bring him to bear or something, because he's like some ancient symbol of doom to them or whatever he was. You remember that place where the Japanese guy had to go, the let them fight guy had to go, right? And he had to give the nuke to Godzilla, like drop it in his face. Yeah, like whoever built those giant things, that big giant palace castle thing that Godzilla was taking a nap in with all the lava everywhere. Yeah. I mean, like, what the heck? How come those people aren't like trying to harness, aren't like in the core of the earth? Like they could have run into the hollow earth. Whatever caused that bullshit to happen to their house, big stone lava house. They could have gone into the hollow earth and then tried to fuck Godzilla up, excuse me, screw Godzilla up when he showed up again, right? I don't know. I just don't think Big Monkey is the solution to the what are Godzilla and King Kong gonna fight against next. I like silly. This is boring. It is. It is. JEC says cynical cash grab trying to cash in on the Kenergy. Yeah, that's true. We're gonna make Godzilla pink because he's worth it. He's enough. He's good enough, right? Good enough. With Godzilla in front of enough. It's good enough. Oh well. But now you've seen it. Now you know. You've probably seen the whole movie already because that's how these guys like to do this stuff. It's pretty infuriating, honestly. But yeah. And I guess we'll leave off on this one. I already did a video on this one already, so forgive me if you've already heard this news today. But Kevin Feige says sets the record straight. Says Robert Downey Jr. will never reprise his role of Iron Man in the MCU. That's right. Never going to do it. I covered it in the video, and they just basically explained that it's not happening. The rumor was wrong. There is not going to be any effort to undo the death of Tony Stark as far as the MCU is concerned. That's right. That's the end of it. Show's over. Kevin Feige said that they worked a long time to get to that, and they do not want to undo that. So the takeaway from this is Secret Wars is going to suck. That's right. Because if they're already parsing hairs like this, you can bet that whatever they do to bring back anybody related to the first story is going to be rough at best. And at most, they're probably just going to recast them. They might race swap a few of them. Like, could you believe that they would be able to resist a Black Iron Man? I don't think they would. I think they would want to beat DC to that they would want to beat James Gunn to getting the Black Iron Man off the ground, right? I'm not talking about James Rhodes. I'm talking about full-on Black Iron Man, the same way that they did with Steel from DC, right? I don't think they can resist that. And you know, turning Black Widow into like one of those Chinese assassin ladies. I forget their special name. They had a very special name. I forget it. One of those Chinese assassin ladies. They'd do that. They'd ditch Natasha Romanoff in an instant to recreate the Black Widow character into something different. And they have license to at this point because of all the battle world shenanigans that'll happen in Secret Wars. But what this is it's a tip of the hat to we're not going the way that you think we are. That's what Kevin Feige's trying to tell everybody. That's the takeaway. That's the bottom line to this is that you're not going to get your return to normal. You're going to get a further erosion of what you came to enjoy about the MCU and have stuck around or at least carried a passing interest in it for. That's going to get burnt out completely. So maybe Doctor Doom will be a girl. They keep saying that Mads Mikkelsen is going to play him, but I don't know. Maybe Mags Masaccio is going to play him. Who knows? Oh, well. But that's it for the Monday Rewind. We are now back at Monday again. You're up to the news, up to date on Bounding into Comics, which, by the way, we have the comments section back. That's right. So if you want to comment on all the gobbledygook we talked about today, the crazy stuff that's going on in Hollywood, or stuff that's yet to come today, later to be posted, feel free to drop on over there and leave us your thoughts. You don't even have to be pithy about it, like that Bill O'Reilly thing, you know? Just enjoy yourself. Leave a comment. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me today. We'll be back again on Monday, but don't forget to check the 01 stream on Wednesday. We'll be going over more of the Godzilla shenanigans and also the other traumatic and terrible events in Hollywood happening at this very moment. Anyway, see you later.